Hello and welcome to Charger Games. My name is Raja and this is the second episode of Unity C# scripting tutorial. So in the last video we have learned about what is scripting in Unity, and we have also learned how we can actually create new scripts, and we have also learned various ways to attach those scripts to various game objects. So in the last video we have already created a script and we have named it test script, and we have opened it in mono develop. So in this video what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning this code that Unity enters in our script by default. So we're going to be learning what these things mean and why does Unity includes it by default, and what will happen if we remove those things. Okay, so I hope you guys will enjoy this video, so let's get started. So one thing you have to look at is whenever you are creating a new script, what happens is you give your script a name. As an example, whenever we created our first script, we give it a name of test script. Okay, so creating a script in Unity basically means creating a new class. So whenever you create a new script by a name, Unity creates a class by that name. Okay, so here, as you can see, the name of our script was test script. So Unity has created a public class named test script. We will learn more about classes later on. But as of now, you can understand that since C# is an object-oriented programming language, so classes are the very basic things of object-oriented programming. So whenever you create a new script, it creates a class for you with the same name. And if you try to rename this class to something else, if I go and name it test script 1, you will see a lot of errors. You will see some errors when you go to run these things, because actually the name doesn't match. I don't know why it's I think I have to do something else. Okay, I haven't actually attached this script to something, so let's create an empty game object. And now click on add component, scripts, new script, and right now as you can see that not the new script one, I made it wrong here. Let's remove it and add component, scripts. I don't know why is it not showing here. Okay, just drag and drop this test script here. As you can see, it says that can't add script component test script because the script class cannot be found. That means here we have a test script, here we have named our script test script, but here we have changed the name of this class. So whenever it is going to found, Unity is going to found the name and the class with this script name, it is unable to found. So that's why we cannot actually attach this script here. As you can see, it gives us error. So if we change the name to the original name of the script again, and if I try to add it again, as you can see, if I try to add it again, now it works. Okay, so very first thing you have to understand is don't change the name. You have to give it the same name. Okay, so next thing we're gonna learn is whenever you create this script, the very first line you see is using Unity engine and using system.collections. So these things are something called namespaces. Okay, so in C# there's a concept of namespace. So if you have to use codes from certain namespace, you have to include that namespace, or you have to use that namespace at the very beginning of your code. So as you can see here, we have written using Unity engine. So that basically means we can use all the things that are defined inside this Unity engine namespace, and most of the things you're going to use are actually part of this Unity engine namespace. Okay, as you can see, this public class test script has been I don't know how to say that. In object-oriented programming there's a feature called inheritance, and as you can see here we have a public class test script, there then a semicolon and then a colon, and then we have something written as mono behavior. So here we are applying something called inheritance. Inheritance means this class is inheriting from this mono behavior class. this mono behavior is the base class for everything in Unity. Okay, so if you want to use the start and update functions and anything, most of the things, not most of the things, all of the things are actually inside this mono behavior class. So we are inheriting from mono behavior class. That basically means that we can use anything that is inside this mono behavior class. And this mono behavior is also part of this Unity Engine namespace. So if I go and delete this Unity Engine namespace, as you can see, it becomes red. That means it is giving us an error because Unity is not able to find this mono behavior which is inside this Unity Engine namespace. So if we want to use anything from this Unity Engine namespace, we have to use that at the beginning of our code. So as you can see, if I have written it here, and again the error is gone. So these things are called namespaces, okay? And this thing is called the class that we have created, and this thing is called mono behavior, from which everything is defined. We got everything from here, and this is something called inheritance. We'll learn more about that in later videos, so don't worry about them. I just wanted to let you know what you are doing and what Unity has included the very first time you create a new script. So then what you see is, after the name of the class and the name of the mono behavior, you can see two curly braces. So within these curly braces, this class ranges from this curly brace to this curly brace. So inside this, we have the body of the class. Okay, so everything we're going to do is we're going to include them inside this body of the class. And we have two more things. These things are called functions. This is called the start function, as you can see from the name, and this is called the update function, as you can see from the name. So when you create a new script, Unity by default includes these two things in your game. If you want, you can delete these things, but these things have some specific roles in your code. Okay, and if we don't inherit from mono behavior, Unity will not be able to do proper things with these functions. Okay, since these things are also part of this mono behavior class, so as I've said before, most of the things you can do are actually part of this mono behavior class. Okay, so this start function is what gets called at the start of the script, and this update function is what is called each and every frame. Don't worry, we'll learn more about this start and update functions in later videos. Okay, so we have pretty much learned the basics. We have learned what this namespace means. We have learned about this class. We have learned about this inheritance. We have learned the body of the class, and we have also learned about these two functions that are included by default. So, but if you create a new script in Unity, let's delete that. If you create a new script in Unity, you have created the script, you have written the code, but this script is not working right now. So in order to make this script work, you have to actually attach this to some game object. You can attach this to anything, and if you only attach this to something, only after that it will work. Okay, so let me create a new empty game object, and if I go and attach this script with it, now this script is in a position to work. So now we can actually control the behavior of this game object using this script, and we can also change the behavior of the complete game by using this script in this game object. So before I finish this video, let's go and write our very first simple code. So in the start function, write debug.log, and within this just open a parentheses and quotations, in double quotes write start, then end the double quotes and end the parentheses and give a semicolon. So what these things mean is, this thing means that we are actually trying to log something and we are printing that inside the console. So this helps us in debugging our code later on. So if you do this, what will happen is, as I've said before, the start function gets called at the very first time you create a new script and run your game. So when you run your game, the start function gets called and this debug.lard happens, and that is why this start things gets printed on our console. So let's go and click on Window, Console, and here you will see that start thing gets printed. So if I go here and click on Run, we can play. As you can see, since the start function is getting called at the first time, so this start thing is getting printed here. Okay, so let's go and clear that. So that is how you actually, so I think you have understand what these basic things mean that Unity includes very first time you create a new script. It's actually very, very important to understand what Unity includes in your script before starting to writing your own code, because this gives you a basic understanding of what you are doing and why you are doing that, which is very, very important in computer programming. Okay, so I think this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. In the next video, we will start writing our own code. So let's see you in the next video. Thanks.